Hey guys, Randall Cornett here. I hope everybody had a great day. I already made one video today kind of summarizing the 007 that passed today, but I wanted to give you guys a bigger breakdown on on all the rulings they're kind of approved and coming out, rolling out today, effective June 1st, kind of the stuff we're leading up to. That's new information. So I thought a different video would serve a purpose to kind of give a more in-depth look. With that being said, we'll jump right into it. So here's what we're talking about here, guys. So the 008, the 007, and the 005 are all being introduced and kind of new things that we're looking for, right? So just to give you guys a background, two of the rules are from the ICC and one of the rules is from the OCC. And what the ICC is basically, well, let me just give you all the prefixes, right? So the DTC is stocks, the ICC is default swaps, and the OCC is options, okay? And so for the first ruling, we're talking about the ICC. So who are some of the members that are part of the ICC? Well, it's the biggest banks that you can think of. It's Barclays, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. The list goes on. Morgan Stanley. So these guys are all part of that clearing or that agency, right? So let's summarize what some of these new rulings are. So the 008 that's approved and in effect updates their model of determining margin requirements and risk management, right? So it makes a note that the model will take into account scenarios of extreme price decreases and extreme price increases, right? So both increases and decreases, right? So it's taking that into account. The model will take into account hypothetical extreme movements. So it's forward looking. So let's just say if they believe that next week AMC is going to skyrocket to $100,000, they're going to act the day of that that's already happened. So they can basically act on it before it's happened. So it's very forward looking. And so they're calculating risk if something were to actually go up, which is good for us. It's basically going to increase, the skin of the game these guys got to have. So moving on to 007, which I touched on in my other video, but just giving you guys a more in-depth look at it. It updates the haircut rule and the collateral that can be used for your capital, right? So some of these times they might want to, have certain positions wherever they require collateral. Well, sometimes they might want to give their junk out, right? Is the best way to put it, as collateral. And what the 007 is basically saying, that's not going to work. We're not accepting your crap, right? So haircuts are additional subtractions to your total capital. You want to maintain enough capital to not default, because if you default, you're going to get margin called, right? They are allowed to introduce higher haircuts depending on volatility of securities and the general market. So this rule basically saying they're allowed to basically say, hey, you need to have a better or higher collateral if we say you need it. And badly backed collateral cannot be used anymore, which eats away more at your actual good capital, right? So if you have good stuff that you want to use out there to borrow against. So, for example, if you think of like a company like Citadel, right? They have all these BBB bonds that are shitty, kind of like what you've seen in The Big Short, where they would package all these crappy bonds into one package, make it look like it's something good, but everybody knows that it's a shit on the inside. Think about it like that. So if Citadel had $600 million in bonds, in those types of bonds as collateral, the ICC could basically say, no, go screw yourselves, right? That's what the 007 does. All right. And that's big for me, right? That's, to me, could possibly spell margin calls. Okay. And that's approved and effective today, as far as I know. So that's pretty good stuff. Moving on, let's take a look at the 005 here, which is the other important. The other ones, I'm sure they relate to us, but I don't understand them as much, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on those. But the 005, I definitely get. This is already in effect as of Friday, May 14th, and it was a last-minute filing that could have came through. It came through, as you can see, at 11:59 p.m., right before the basically that day closed, right? Not the market, but that day before, it was 12. So they rushed that in. And it's basically the DTC 004 equivalent for the ICC. This is their unwinding plan in the event of an extreme market stress in order to remain afloat by wiping out members with high risk positions. Something really cool is they'll not only wipe out members who default on a certain security, they'll wipe out similar positions in that same security of all the other members if it's a high risk / stress to the market. So, for example, if Citadel were to get wiped out, if hedge fund X, Y, and Z also had the same positions, were in the same way that Citadel, they could say, hey, all you guys, we already seen what happened to these dudes. You're gone too, right? So very good stuff, guys. I mean, these are some of the, to me, the most exciting rulings that we've got in a while. So to break this all down again, the ICC-008 is they can perform hypothetical situations of extreme price movements when determining what your margin requirement might be. So if they see an extreme spike in price, you are going to have higher margin requirements, and it's flexible. They can do this on the move, right? The SR-ICC-007, which passed today, will rip the collateral from them and introduce higher haircuts, making the model from the previous, the 008, much easier to hit the risk threshold, because you're not going to be able to use shitty collateral or bonds or just anything that you want to poise as collateral that they don't see as being adequate for them. They're not going to use, which again, if they say no to that, you can't raise the cash, margin call, right? And then finally, the SR-ICC-005 will cause all the members that have the same positions of a defaulting member to also get defaulted as well. So consider that your domino effect, right? So you'll be able to see when one of these rules, obviously they all affect each other, but when one happens, pretty much all of them trigger. And if it happens to one hedge fund, it can happen to all of them. And I suspect that that's what we're going to see happening. So I hope this was able to give you guys a better summary, a breakdown of kind of what we're looking at in a way that us apes can understand. It helped me understand it. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, spending your time with me, watching my videos. If you enjoyed the comment, please do if you enjoyed the content, please do me a favor, leave a comment. Let me know if you're long on AMC, if you're planning to hold to the moon. If you are somebody that's never been in stocks before, I'd be interested in knowing that. If you find the content useful, all that good stuff, please like and subscribe. It does me a huge, huge favor. If you guys like and subscribe, it helps me connect with more of you guys, which is my ultimate goal. I've said this in videos before. I'm really not looking for any monetary gain out of this. It's literally just connecting with you guys. So with that being said, please drop a comment, chat with me. I like to be interactive with everybody. And I love you guys a long time. Peace.